Hello everyone, this is Marsha LaFroth with Stamp with Marsha, and today I'm going to show you, I received this card. I want to thank Sally. She was my inspiration for today's Facebook Live. I was trying to think what to do and I thought, I got a really cool card from Sally. I'm going to go try to show that. All right, now just give me a moment to pull this video up in front of me. It's not pulling up. This makes me wonder if it's not working. It says it's live. Well, sorry for this. Oh, there it is. Okay, I don't know why it was delayed a moment. Okay, now I'm going to see you. I'm going to try to cut out my body in the background. Okay, so as I said before, now if you just did the card club with me with the Lovely Garden paper, this is a different fun fold, and I'm going to try it in a couple different patterns. So that whole club we just did was all fun folds, but this is even more. So let's see. One more thing. Let me try to do this. Okay. So, like I said, I received this beautiful Mother's Day card from Sally, and I was trying to think of what to do. The new catalog just went live yesterday, and I really wanted to show you guys stuff in that, but I just haven't played with the stuff enough. And also, it's Mother's Day Sunday, and I thought this would be really pretty with this Lovely Garden paper. I thought about using new paper, but I ended up just going with this. Okay, so again, this is the card, the fun fold. And so I am going to make it today. I don't know what this one's called. I've never actually seen this exact one. This is like often called a Z fold, this back fold. But we're going to try it with this one where we just do it with the DSP, but this is a version where I used, I've been playing with these for the first time this week for my card club, which I'll tell you about that. Hi, Jane. These are the textured notes dies, and they're just a bunch of cuts rectangles with really cool borders. I'll show you the card club we're doing, but I saw a card with those borders cut with these flowers, so I just fussy cut those from the DSP. And then I did use a new stamp set. This was an online exclusive release yesterday called Blooming Phrases, and I used that on the front, but I did make mine a Mother's Day card also, and that Happy Mother's Day is from the retired perennial postage stamp set. But if you wanted to try to make this, and then I had to adjust my inside piece to fit just right because I did my front using those. So I can, before we end, try to give you the measurements if you want to try to do that border. Hopefully I'll get this on my blog, but sometimes it doesn't happen. So okay, so just going off the measurements I received, this is how I'm gonna make this card. Okay, and I usually have my marker or my notes in really big things so you guys can all read them, but as always I ran out of time, so this time they're just going to be tiny, but hopefully I'll get them on my blog, or you can write them down. You can replay this if you want to try to make this. Okay, so we're going to start with our regular 5.5 by 8.5 card. Okay, and again, this is the look we're going for. And then we're going to score at our normal mark of 4 1/4, but also mark at 2 1/8. This one's already been scored at 4 1/4. So I'm going to 2 1/8. Now some people, for this kind of Z fold, they call it, where you fold it back, they don't score that. They just start to bend this back and line up the ends and then use a bone folder. But I personally like to score it. Now, I also like to use a bone folder. What is it? Now, I'm using thick white cardstock, but I will be honest, this is a really thick card. and especially here where I put things up on dimensionals and added ribbon and bling. So you may want to do it on just the regular white, but that's what I have. Okay, so you need that. And then you have your back mat and your two little panels here. And you could do it with cardstock or designer paper. She has just cardstock, and I'm gonna do a mix on my panels. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. And then these two panels, and I'm using garden green with this one. These two panels are, I think, 1 7/8. Let me just double check that. My little handy ruler here. Yep. 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Okay, so those are your cardstock panels. And then I decided on this one. So here you can see I just stuck with cardstock panels, and that's how that is. But I decided to add another layer of cardstock on this front one. And then on my back one, so I'm using this pattern, and I'm going to add a little bit of this, and I'm using both sides of that pattern. I'm thinking that one might have been nice too, but it's okay. And my paper got bent, so I'm going to put this on here. And the key thing you probably really need me to show you, hi Linda, is how to make this little this thing pop up on the inside. And then of course it can stand, and you can see all 3 layers, which looks kind of cool. So we're going to get to that little, I'm going to call it apparatus or mechanism. Okay, but first I need to put my layers of DSP down. I think this paper is so gorgeous that it's sad for me to put tape on it, but that's okay because we're going to put that on the front. So I'm just attaching my layers because you need at least the inside layers done before you can put this little piece in, okay? So we're going to stick that there, and then I will at least get this layer done. And I could put DSP there, but you don't really see this. You could even probably skip that layer. It's just barely seen. So I'm not going to waste my DSP on that. Hello, Linda. If I already said hi to you, I don't think I did. Linda and Jean. Welcome, ladies. All right, and then I'm gonna stick this one here, okay, and put that on the front panel. Again, that's a little bit different than the other ones, but that's the beauty. When you take a card pattern, you can just play with it, and I am excited to try this with my new paper. I thought this was so perfect for Mother's Day, and I wanted to do that. But the card I'm making here won't be Mother's Day because this will go out to one of you ladies who are watching, and by the time I get it to you, it won't be Mother's Day anymore. But this card could definitely be Mother's Day. Okay, so now we need to do the little piece that's going to go inside to make that layer pop up, okay? And I don't think I brought white paper over. Hold on, let me grab some. Okay, I might want it a little thicker than that. Let's see. It doesn't have to be longer. I'm going to make it longer. All right, sorry. Okay, I wrote down 2 1/4 by 3, but I really think with how long this piece is, you could do it even longer. I'm going to just actually do this one 2 1/4. Sorry, I'm thinking about what I'm trying to say. 3 you must have. I'm going to do 3. This is how, I'm sorry, ladies, it's okay. Maybe I should just stick to my original plan so I don't confuse myself. I'm going to go with 2 1/4 by 3, okay, for this little side piece. And then I'm going to score with the 3 at the top every 3/4 inch, okay? So I would start here. It's the measurements for that exactly would be 3/4, then 1 1/2, then 2 1/4. Okay, that's how I'm doing it. Now I will say, when I was looking at this one, you know, trying to figure it out without tearing it apart, it felt like there might have been another score line in there, but I couldn't figure out where, how, and I was able to make it work without that, so I'm not doing it that way. Okay, so we're going to just score on all our lines. All right, and then we're going to fold this in half, and this is going to be stuck right here, centered. And we're going to just put tape on this flap and on that flap. Okay, so and I'm going to use pretty strong tape. Although there is, you could definitely, the nice thing about glue is you can slide it around a bit, which was, I was definitely doing that with my other one. Okay, so this is how we're going to get our little pop out note in the center. So I'm just doing my best to center that. And again, I only have adhesive on this bottom half where I've scored it. Okay, and I'll just hope for the best that this is centered. I kind of close it to make sure it can close. And then I'm going to put tape, I'm just showing you, on this section, tape, glue, whatever, on this section, okay? So you can keep it closed to do it. I just want to make sure you guys can see that. Okay, and then I feel the easiest way is to just go ahead and close your card on there. Okay, and then you see we have this little box, and we're just going to glue our insert right onto that box, and then when it closes, it will come out, and then we'll have this little piece framed around there, like so. Okay, so this piece is measured 3 by 4 1/2. And I want to stamp on it before I put it in there. And I decided to add a little matchy. Oh wait, you know why that's not going to work though? I just realized. Because you're going to see that on the front. So we're trying to have it like here. I kind of hit it over in that corner. So there's something there. I think I'm going to do a long one. Let's see if I have any scraps laying around here. Sure I do. Excuse me, I'm just trying to find some scraps. I guess I'll just cut into this beautiful long piece because I can't find my scraps, which is very sad. But oh well, I don't know where it is, but I'm gonna cut this at least. I don't know how I want to cut it, so that's all right. I'll just cut it on the 4. Well, let me think about this. How long is this? 4 1/2. I think you're gonna just have to imagine that I put green there because I know I have scraps somewhere and I don't want to cut that piece. So I'm going to take it though and put a strip on that side so that when you open it, there's still a little color, but you don't see it from the front. Or maybe I'll stick a flower there. I don't know yet, but I'm going to find something. And I do want to stamp my greeting because that would be hard to stamp later. I can glue something in there. Hi, Tara. So we're going to stick, I'm just making sure that that has good ink. So since I'm making this a birthday card, I'm going to put happy birthday on the front and may all your wishes come true on the inside. And I'm going to find some kind of little yellow flower to stick in that corner, but not this corner so that you don't see it from the front. Okay. So now we just need to attach this to this section. So I'm just putting some glue. Now this is the part I do think it's a little tricky to get it centered or even. So that's why glue is good, because then you can slide it around a little if you need to. Okay, and I'm gonna just press through this way. And there it is. There's our little pop out. All right. And then we're going to attach this piece to the front. Now, again, I didn't actually buy the stamp set to go with this paper, and I might end up doing it. I've seen so many gorgeous things, and I was thinking, well, I have so many flower sets already, but you know what? A lot of them retired or they're on the last chance list. So I'm like, maybe I will get some more. Okay, so then we're going to try to have that where everything is lining up. That's the only trick, is the whole lining up. And I'm trying to think if there's a certain direction these flowers are going. I think it's like that. But I flip it upside down so I can put tape on the section I know it's going to land on. So over here. And then I'll flip it back. This one is not super directional, so it's very forgiving, but... And I just look, I'm looking all around, hopefully lining it up as even as possible, but I'm trying not to stick my head in the camera, so I don't know if it's not going to be perfect, but it's okay. All right, so then we just got to decorate it, or you could leave it plain. Like this one I received was plain, and then your little note was on the inside, okay, which is super cute. But I am going to put and it helps it be more flat. You don't have to add any extra postage because that just was nice and flat in the mail. So you could do it that way. I am gonna go ahead and pop this up. I used my greetings came from Unbounded Love, both the happy birthday and the inside one. May all your wishes come true. Oh, Tara, thanks. She said she loves the design. I obviously didn't come up with it. I got this card in the mail, and thank goodness, because I was trying to figure out what to show you guys today. I'm trying to decide if I want this like to the off a little. I think I'll do this. Now I'm gonna add some bling and ribbon. One thing I did on my recent class with this set is we took the white loose butterflies. I actually didn't look to see if they're still available. They were on the last chance list, and we sponged some ink, yellow ink on it to get a yellow butterfly. So that would be cute to add there. And I'm just trying to decide if I want yellow ribbon with this, or I love this black and white ribbon. But I think we're gonna try both, and even though there's a delay, I'm going to have you guys vote. Oh, shoot. I left my scissors on my other table. I tend to start with about 10 inches of ribbon when I'm cutting bows. And you're always going to cut some off, but it's better to have too much than too little. Okay, so there's yellow bow. Okay, that's one look. Or this is, I just love this ribbon. And even though it has some vanilla, it's vanilla instead of white, it still usually works fine with white, I have found. Okay. Okay. All right, girls, voting time. Black and white or yellow. That's the vote for the day. Okay, we've got one vote for black and white. Honestly, I think either is fine, but I don't know either. Not sure. I'll come back to it. Okay, and then I was just flipping through my bling for yellow, and this is the Mediterranean Blooms bling that is carrying over as far as I can tell. So I think you can still get this one. Now I've lost my little pen. Okay, so we've got one vote for black and white and one for yellow. So obviously either one will work. I can't even decide myself, guys. I really can't. I need my new, I just ordered the new duck. I feel like this, I just want something a little bigger. The duck, the new color, Darling Duckling, and they have yellow ribbon. I think I might like that better because it's a little more thick. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the black and white. I think I like it the most, even though really either would be fine. I'll just stick that right there. And then maybe I'll stick a butterfly, yellow butterfly in there or something, like a die cut one to give it more yellow. The only problem with this bling is it's so bulky. I wish they made everything flat, more flat. Because those feel like this is going to be a card I need to hand make. I'm trying to decide if that's even going to show up on there. If I just jam them all on my greeting. This is taking a ridiculously long time. Oh, and I'm trying to pick that off and I'm making a mess. And I got it though. I got it. I have a different, well, never mind. I was gonna go get some yellow, more flat bling, but I didn't. This will be just a bulky card. Okay, so anyway, that's the card. It's actually pretty simple. I mean, this one was more complicated because I fussy cut the flowers and I used these borders to cut them. And so if you were to do that, let me just tell you what your background, and of this, I definitely want to put like a flower or color, something on the inside for a little pop of color. But if you decide to use these for your front instead of the 3x4, then your inside piece will measure, do I have a ruler here? And like I said, hopefully this will be on the blog, but it will measure 4 3/4 by 3, I believe. Yes, 4 3/4 by 3, and I used these two borders. Thank you, Jean, for liking it. Okay, so I use these two borders to cut my blue. Oh, my other problem with this card, I love it. I don't have a problem with it, but this boho blue cardstock has retired, so I believe it's sold out. It was on the last chance list. Okay, so that's those cards. Now let me tell you what we're doing in my card club this month. And also, I guess, just for my question of the day, tell me your vote. Either way, you're going to win this one because this is a Mother's Day card, and I'm probably going to use it for Mother's Day. But actually, well, tell me which you would rather have, or which you like best, the blue or the green. Which of those you like best. Okay, that'll be my question for the day. When you answer, you get entered to win the prize I made, the card I made today. All right, so let me tell you about Card Club this month. It's interesting. I used paper that when I first saw this paper, I didn't like it. Maybe because I like colorful and these were brown, but I ended up just really loving this paper and these cards. It's featuring the Textured Notes stamp set, which, do I have that even nearby? Let's see. This is the stamp set we're using in our card club this month. And the paper, in the whole suite, there were 2 papers. Oh, I don't remember. I don't have it either here. But you would get a half pack of this paper with the club. You'll get some bling. It won't actually be this. I didn't have the bling that goes with this suite. So it'll be that bling. And then these are the 4 cards we're making, but you'll make double of them. And it's if you're in my card club, it's $30. You make 8 cards. You get some designer paper and bling to use on the projects, plus you'll have some left over. And the deadline to sign up for that is May 10th. And then it's an online class, but not live. So I send you the videos and I send you PDF for making them. But this was a new fun fold for me in this card with the double cut. And so I'm kind of excited we'll be doing that in the club. So anyway, if you want to sign up for that, should be in my events, but just let me know if you can't find it and you want to do it. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Hi, Nanette. You like the green one? Yeah, I like them both. Okay, have a great week, guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.